Hey guys, I want to offer an overview of what I think happened in the case of Christopher Watts. Do I believe that Christopher Watts was telling the truth when he said in his police interview that his wife murdered their children? Yes, I do. And I'll tell you why. There are many of us who have studied this case extensively. And as you know, there have been many details shared with the public about this case that typically with a true crime case we don't have access to. I take a look at those Facebook posts and I think to myself, my God, what mother sees her baby covered with a heavy blanket, the baby's face covered, and she takes a picture of it and posts it on social media and thinks it's cute, evidently? What mother douses her little girl's face right in the eyes, douses her with water, and when she goes to run toward her daddy, she says, "Don't you save her." What mother has a meltdown over what again? Nuts? She accused her mother-in-law of not caring if the girls lived or died. The mother-in-law didn't do anything wrong at all. At all. And that didn't stop her from saying F you to her mother-in-law right on social media. I think that Christopher Watts' wife was lying about the nut meltdown. I think she was lying about the invitations. I think she was lying about the nursing program too. I think she was lying about her illnesses. I think she was lying about just how much money she ever made with an MLM. And most importantly, I think she was lying about her children's health issues too. I think that the night that she returned home from a weekend party that she liked to call work, I think she was ready for a fight. I think she knew her husband was leaving her. In fact, I think she knew he was leaving her for months, based on the fact that she was peppering a lawyer at the restaurant with questions about custody. I think way back in March or April. I think that she was lying to her husband about their financial situation. I think she lied when she said that she was a stay-at-home mom. I think she lied about a lot of things. And I think that she knew that if her husband actually divorced her, then she wouldn't get away with lying anymore. I do think that she's the one who murdered the girls. Because seeing all of those Facebook photos and watching those Facebook live videos that she posted online, In my opinion, she was already harming them when they were alive. She didn't even seem connected to the kids. When Bella said she was hungry, she said, "Oh, you want a laptop?" When she asked Bella if she had stopped sucking her thumb, Bella shook her head no, and she didn't even notice. When Bella said she was cold, she ignored her. Did you know in one video she said that she had 3 kids and then she corrected herself and said 2? It was before she was pregnant. Did you see the video where she said that she was going to go strangle the dog before he woke up the children, and she strangled, and then she stopped herself and said the dog? I think she had a lot of secrets going on. I think she thought that she had her husband conned into believing that she was actually successful, that she was actually dealing with serious diseases, that she was actually hardworking and amazing. And I think when he had that 5-week break from her, he realized that maybe she was none of the above. People say that the photos of the office, quote unquote, show a very messy, messy pile of papers. It makes me wonder if maybe Christopher Watts wasn't looking for something in the office, and then maybe he came across some things that he wasn't meant to see. I think she was broke, and I think she was desperate, and I think she realized that her husband was leaving her and that her gig was up. And I think that she decided that she would hurt her husband in the way that would hurt him the most. I don't know why he didn't call 911. I don't know. That makes no sense. But it really makes me wonder if maybe he didn't find some sort of a note telling him what to do. And if he wasn't just following the instructions, as it seems he had been following for at least 8 years already. I don't know why he didn't tell the police immediately that he wanted a lawyer. I don't know why he spoke with the reporter. And again, the $1,000,000 question is, why didn't he dial 911? But I think the $1,000,000 question can also be, why didn't he ever stand up for himself? And why didn't he protect his daughters? And another $1,000,000 question is, why is there such an organized effort to silence any discussion on this case? You know, the first couple of weeks after the case hit the headlines, there were many people saying that they believe that his wife murdered their daughters. And then all of a sudden on September 3rd, there were attacks against many of us who were discussing the case over on Facebook. Who is behind the attacks? Who has something to hide? Who is it who thinks that they can come along and silence any discussion on the case? You know, I've been discussing true crime cases for 10 years already on social media, and I have never before seen such vile and vulgar language and actions by other people attacking us for simply discussing a case. So who is behind the attacks? And why? We can discuss the O.J. Simpson case for 25 years. We can discuss the Darlie Routier case for almost 23 years now. We can discuss every other case out there without any fear of repercussion. But if we discuss the case of Christopher Watts, then we're expected to endure 10 months worth of attacks. Why? In my opinion, the attacks serve to show that those of us who believe that Christopher Watts may have been telling the truth when he said that his wife murdered his children are the ones who are probably onto something. Because if that possibility was simply ludicrous, then obviously the attackers would pay us no mind. For those of you who want to say, oh, you're slandering a dead woman, seriously, up yours. Because you and yours have been slandering me and many of us who have been discussing this case. You've been committing libel against us. You've been doxing us. You've been placing us and our families in harm's way. For what? For disagreeing with you? For having a different opinion than you have? You choose to break the law. You choose to commit civil infractions on top of that. Because you think she was perfect? Well, if she was so perfect, then what is it you're afraid of?